Hey, hello? 1212? Come on, Bobby. Back to work! Ah, yes. Bobby is in the chat. Guys, happy Friday, everyone. Salut, Steven. Salut, Vexy. Team. Yo, yo, yo. How are you, guys? Popolvar, my man. Get to work, Bobby. Exactly. Oh, boy. How is everyone? How are you guys doing? What a journey you had. Glad you got it sorted. Yes. So I had some adventure. I had some new adventure yesterday. Oh, dude, I'm so tired of this. Okay, so we'll talk about it. What I'm gonna do, chat, today, listen what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a short stream. Short stream. It won't be 5-hour stream. Might be, 3 hours type of stream. Yesterday I finished putting everything back in the PC. And I would like to watch, those video about how the 9800 X3D are actually burning. So, long story short, what happened to me for the last 2 weeks is like, not last Friday, but the before last Friday, when we were like streaming, my PC started to like act really weird. So we had a crash. I couldn't reboot it normally. I had to press the reset button multiple times. And it's not something that really had happened to me with this hardware. And I start to investigate it. And after 2 weeks of ordering new parts, sending them back, making some tests, trying to find the source, we figured it out with your help, because you helped me a lot on Discord too and on the stream, that it was my CPU, dude. My CPU, my 9800 X3D, freaking died. Believe it or not. And it's the first time in my life that I encounter like a CPU dying, behaving this way. Like it's the first time ever. Because my previous experience when I had CPU dying was pretty straightforward. You could tell that it was a CPU and nothing else. But in this specific case scenario, nothing, I would say nothing, like, would give me like any clue it was a CPU. We kind of like go towards the CPU, but like the symptom were like more like, PSU, motherboard, GPU, RAM. It could have been everything else. And I really let the CPU at the end. I was like, it can't be the CPU. Like, the CPU, like to burn a CPU, you have to be so violent with it on paper. And I did nothing to this one. Like, I didn't overclock it like crazy. I didn't push wattage, actually undervolt it. I did nothing to it. But guess what? It was a CPU, dude. It was a freaking CPU. What a headache, chat. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna install CachyOS real quick. We're gonna chill. Yeah. Let's do that. Bon. The good news is like now it's fixed. Hey, salut Tellurian. Rest in peace, CPU. Yes, it's done. So, because I wanted to use a PC, I bought a new one. I bought a 9800 X3D. I almost went with the, like the big one, like the 50X, X3D2, whatever. The biggest one. And then I was like, do I need it? No. I don't need it, chat. And honestly, like, I'd rather put the money in the next generation because I think the next generation is gonna be on the same socket. It's still gonna be AM5. So I'm like, maybe on the next generation we take the leap. And I buy the biggest one. But right now I'm like, no, this one is enough for my needs. So nah, I didn't get it, chat. And the plan is like, I ask AMG for my money back, and they were like, no, you didn't. Like, the email was like so funny. Like, I said, hey, like, because the way it works, I'm gonna tell you how it works. Okay. So the way it works is actually insane, chat. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you guys. No, this is too big. Yeah. Okay. So the way it works with AMG, you go on their website, you create an account, you take a picture of your CPU, take a picture of the box, send it to them, explain what's going on. And honestly, they were super like reactive. In less than 24 hours, they were like, okay, this is your thing, blah, 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 blah. We had like 2 days of exchanges. And then they were like, okay, this is the FedEx prepaid package. Put it on your CPU, send it to us. And we're going to send you a new one like right away. But the process in and out is going to take you, let's say, 5 business days, right? So I was like, and the thing is, like, I couldn't, this is the other trick. I could not send them the CPU before I was sure at 100% it was a CPU, right? So I bought the new one before to test, to be like, okay. Because imagine I send it to them and it's still not working. So anyways, they were super fast, but I'm still waiting for the CPU to come back, like the new one. And so I told them, I was like, hey, I sent an email, I was like, hey, how to buy a CPU? It would be good if you just send me some money versus like sending me a new CPU, because I don't really need a CPU now anymore. And you know what they said? It was actually pretty fun. Guess what they said? I don't think you're gonna be able to guess what they say. I would never have believed that was a CPU. Symptom were so PSU for it. I know, dude. Hey, salut Civilova, what's up? Bezos CPU replacement fund. What did you do, Tellurian? Did you just become a member of Twitch, brother? Udaznik, what's up? Wait. What happened there? Why I have no notification? Like, what's going on? Oh, man, did I miss? Yeah, you sent the Twitch sub. Hey, thank you very much, dude. I had no notification, so I'm sorry about that. Thank you very much. Tellurian, thanks for your support. Much appreciated. I have no notification, guys. Great. Oh, well. Anyways. So, that's the story, dude. It was a CPU. And do you know what they say when I ask for the money? We'll send you a Threadripper then? Man, I wish. Varisk, how are you doing? Salut eSport are for loser. How are you? I wish they would be like, hey, you know what? Because of all the trouble you had to go through, we'll send you a Threadripper and 4 NVIDIA Pro RTX 6000 for you to do some testing at home. No. But anyways, I asked for the cash. And I was like, hey, because in my head I was like, maybe it's better for them to send cash rather than to send a new CPU. But apparently it's not. So the guy, he said, like in his email, he was like, hey, I guess, he said this in English. I guess you didn't read the warranty clause or whatever. You know, EULA. Like, you didn't read them. We don't do... He didn't say it this way, but he was like, it's not part of the deal, kind of. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna send the new one back to Amazon. End of story. Because this one works very well. So, you know. Salut! YT YouTube Night Radio, what's up? Abdullah, what's up? How are you? So, yeah. We'll see how it goes, chat. I had to say it. I did move away from Linux for a while now. I removed it. Vacation started with 2 system break, 5 games that did not work. My man. Allez, you know what? Just for that. Cheers. Happy Friday, everyone. You will be back. That's the problem with Linux. It's like when you try it, you can't go back to something else. Erase disk. Kingston. That's a good one. Let's go. Plasma desktop. Well, I'm gonna let everything on it, sorry. I'm gonna keep Firefox. Yeah. We go ready for a basic installation. Kashi OS, by the way. My secret password. Okay, so we're gonna start fresh with this one. So yeah. Logic Slayer, how are you doing, buddy? So it was kind of a crazy adventure, chat, and yeah, it was a CPU. So I put the new CPU in. I finished with 3 motherboards at my place, dude. I tried to get a MSI Tomahawk X870E. And I have to say, guys, by the way, like, this motherboard was really good. I was super surprised. I noticed some... We can talk about it if you want. If you're in market for a motherboard, I think this one is really cool and it's really cheap and it gives like so many features. There is one drawback I've seen though, but like if I didn't need the 10 gigabytes and if I didn't have already bought the Pro Art, I believe I would have stayed on the MSI, dude. What a pleasant experience. What a pleasant experience, dude. A really good motherboard, in my opinion. But yeah, so the first one, I got a discount of like 33% on it. It was a Amazon warehouse deal. Dude. I don't know if you ever done that. I don't know if you ever done like the Amazon warehouse deal. It was the first time in my life I did it. So it was a pretty good deal, like almost 35% on the card. On the motherboard. So I received it. And then when I look at it, dude, I could tell this motherboard was older than 30 days. Because you see, the deal is like, you buy something on Amazon, it doesn't work, you send it back. But you can only send it back if you use it for less than 30 days. Like this motherboard has at least 1 year on it. 6 months to 1 year. So I don't know what they did with it. But yeah, so I plugged everything, and guess what? The warehouse deal was dead on arrival. There was some type of like grounding issue, so it wouldn't even boot. I had some error message, so I was like, great, this one doesn't work. I tried to flash the BIOS. I did everything. It just wouldn't work. You guys, I spent 1 day on this. Tried to figure it out if it was still me. You know, if something else broke. Or if it was this. So not for myself, for future Air Max. Never buy Amazon warehouse deal ever again. Especially a motherboard. It's not worth it. I think people are doing some type of like business, right? Like they use one card for like 1 year, they bought somewhere else, then they order the same card on Amazon, and then they send the old one, dude, and they keep the new one. I think this is what's happening, man. So they start fresh with a brand new card, dude. Anyways, so I didn't say that to you, but I think like this is what happened. Like some people are just tricking the system here. Salut Cryptic Guy, what's up? I will be back on Linux. I started my vacation with 8 days of troubleshooting. I wanted to relax and game, that's why. It makes sense, man. Vanisila, what's up? At least the ProArt isn't the problem. Yes, ProArt is working good so far. A lot of people went with the Tomahawk and you can see why. Yeah, the Tomahawk, dude, the Tomahawk. So let's go back to this motherboard. Like, so the Tomahawk, then what happened is like I bought a new one and I was, you know what? I kind of like it, even if this one was borked. The more I looked at it, the more I was like, dude, like this is a good motherboard. Like he has all the feature I need except the 10 gigabyte. So I was like, you know what? Let's just buy it. Because in my head, I already thought the motherboard was dead. And I was thinking, you know, just get a motherboard you will use. So I bought it back, but this one brand new. It arrived the day after. Man, the packaging, everything like clean. Open it. This one, it looked like fresh. It looked like really, really fresh. You know, like when you open something new, you can tell it's fresh. It didn't look like 1 year old or whatever. So I put it there, put the CPU, like my old CPU, and man, it booted. Everything worked for like 3 reboots, and then it started to be like all over the place again, dude. So, yeah. I at this moment, I was like, I thought it was something connected to the PC. And you know the greatness of this board? Like the board literally helped me to figure out what was happening. So this is my second learning, chat. The board had the doctor debug. And so the number told me exactly what it was. Because on the ProArt, it was just like the light just say GPU related stuff, which wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, here we are, dude. This one gave me the number. It was number 9094, which means there is a problem with the PCI Express bus enumeration, if I remember correctly. And this motherboard helped me to fix the freaking problem, dude. Because my board doesn't have the doctor debug. You know what? Like, when I was troubleshooting and everything, I was really upset, man. I was really, really upset, chat. Because it made me realize that the board I have is... I really love this board. I love the ProArt. But it's not that great after all. There is some features which are super important, which are missing, which is just crazy, dude. And you kind of like realize how bad it is when you are in front of the wall, you know, like when you finally realize that you actually need it. Okay, so we're gonna set up the power real quick. Oh, okay, we good. Nice. I think motherboard are one of the riskier things to get as well due to CPU slot, pin, and such. Yeah. Salut Ghost Text and salut Stéphane. One thing with this RAM crisis and rising price that PC repair business will be booming, but it affects everything. Yeah. Man, such a mess. I have another story for you guys. Like everything has been failing. Like everything has been failing at my place, like with the hardware I own. So to be fair, like I'm running a lot of hardware those days. So it increases your chance to have something failing. But a lot of things have been failing, dude. I'm going to take out my old PC out of storage and install CachyOS. Hey, Fiona, enjoy, dude. I miss the error code on my motherboard. I have an Asus Prime with the same color LED as your ProArt. Yeah, dude, like this is so bad. Like, you know, it doesn't make the card bad, right? The card is great, but then you realize, like, oh, you look at the board, when you have an issue, you can debug it. You don't know what's going on. You need a second motherboard to debug your first motherboard? Like, what is this? My suggestion for you, for the last stream to recommend motherboard, the special thing about this motherboard, they have only 2 RAM slots. Asus ROG Crosshair X870 Apex and ASRock 870E Taichi. We can look at them, but I'm gonna stay with my ProArt. So the issue was not the motherboard. It was the CPU. My CPU just died, dude. But let me show you something. You will realize what is the problem of the Tomahawk. And this I realized after. Like there is no... Is it, like I noticed with those motherboard in general. So let me do something real quick. Settings. I don't want to do that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's start it again. Give me 1 second, chat. Just want to make sure because... Yes. Alright. So. MSI Tomahawk. And I noticed that when I was working on it because... You will see. I started to be, I wouldn't say paranoiac, but I arrived to a point where I was like, hey, if I buy a board, I want it to have like everything. I don't want to have to do that ever again. Like this is not what you wanted, right? So let me show you, dude. I think you're gonna realize it right away. So this is a board I got. I don't have it anymore. So I got the first one which was used. It didn't work. I got the second one which was new. I tried it. Yeah, I noticed he helped me debug with this little thing here. I don't know if you see it on stream. Wait. Let's see. Give me 1 second, chat. Salut Genji, how are you doing? Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, so I was able to debug with this little debug stuff. Like this is awesome. Like first thing I learned from this adventure, never again I will buy a motherboard without this. Like this is not happening, chat. No matter what, I'm gonna, yeah, stick with this. Do we have some bug on the stream? Is everything fine? Doesn't look like it, huh? Had an upgrade of Mesa, so maybe the Intel card is struggling. Dude, like nothing is working. Everything seems fine? Okay. Okay, so maybe it is Twitch or something. I don't know. Oh. Okay, so if it's fine, it's fine. Salut Robert. Quick question. Do you have to update every time on CachyOS when Cachy icon lets you know there is something to update, or you can go a month without updating? You can choose. You can even go up to 6 months. You might have to do a little bit homework after 6 months, but it should be still working. I personally update every day, like once a day. But you don't have to do that. The idea is like when you update, don't let too many packages accumulate, because the more package you let update, if you have some type of bug, it's hard to find the one which is causing the issue. So depend on the number of package you have on your machine, depends on the usage of your machine. There is not a good answer. Me personally, I have like on my main machine, I have like 1600 packages, sorry. So 1600 packages, and I will upgrade every 3 days. Oh, maybe the camera is struggling. Yeah, I can tell we are losing. We are having like some drop frame on the network. It could be the. Yeah, I don't know what it is. That's chat. I'm not debugging that now. Salut Rocketeer. Why you didn't buy a B6050E motherboard? So I didn't buy a small motherboard because I have 3 NVMe drive, and I noticed that on the smaller board, it's hard to have like 3 NVMe drive full speed. This one I think had 4. You have 1 here, 2 there, and 1 there. So you have 4 of them. You have 5 gigabytes. You have this little button, which actually awesome to remove the graphic card. Like removing the graphic card on my freaking ProArt is so like it's such a pain, dude. So having the button help you to unlock it. I don't know why they do those lock chat. On the server motherboard you don't have those. Nobody cares. But here they put them. I don't understand why. This is a real pain, chat. Well, anyways, so I got this one, okay? I received it, and the first learning again was this debug code here. You need it, chat. Like, no matter what, this is the most important thing on your motherboard, because the day you have a problem, this is gonna help so much. Like, you have no idea how much time I lost because of this. I could have fixed it maybe in like 1 week versus like freaking 14 days. Even less, maybe 4 days. Just because of this. So that's the first problem, okay? But what do you think about this card? Look at it, chat. What do you think? If you look at it like that, do you see something wrong? It took me some time to understand. What do you think? Some PCs, they don't need a debug cog. They need an exorcist. Yeah, it's a CMOS battery, man. Logix Layer found it. So, I'm going to tell you what happened. I installed my CPU in it, and then I start to have issue again. Right? And so, all the motherboard, they have CMOS battery, but the CMOS battery here is hidden behind this block there. And so, when I was debugging it, I had a moment where I was like, oh, I need to reset the CMOS. I need to remove the battery. And I looked at it, I was like, bro, where is it? I was like, where is it, dude? So it's just there, behind this thing. So you have 4 screws to remove. And you know what is the big problem too? It's not a normal battery. You can short the 2-pin, but me, I like to remove the battery too. So, and anyways, this battery is gonna die one day. So what it means you have to remove this. God knows I didn't touch it because, you know, like, when I understood that it was my CPU, I didn't want to destroy this card because I wanted to send it back to Amazon. And I don't want to be this guy who is abusing the system, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? Like, don't let it as new because this, like, someone else gonna buy it and I want the next buyer to enjoy, right? So anyways, it's not a normal battery. It's a battery in a special package, and I look at the price. If you want to change it, it's $15 USD. $15 USD, bro. So you remove that. Yeah, exactly, Logix Layer. You have the thermal pad under. You might have to change because when you take it off, God knows how those thermal pads are gonna look like. And then you have the surprise that you need a special battery that you need to order in a special place for 15 USD. So to give you an idea, for 15 USD, you could have like 12 normal battery like that. Like 10 or 12. It costs nothing. It maybe even more, dude. So like this to me was a big... Bobby, come on. Okay, Bobby. Yeah, it might be the camera, which is like a little bit funny today. Could be worse, but yeah, yes. I think this is a big drawback. And man, like... If it's connected using a cable, you could desolder the cable from the old battery. Bro, this is a $500... No, not 500. 450 Canadian dollar motherboard. I shouldn't have to desolder anything. Like, this is what drives me insane. I'm like, yes, there is a solution to this, but it's so expensive. Like, I want to have a good experience. Like, guys, this is insanity. I'm going to see how your Tomahawk is working on Linux before I get one. So I send it back. I send it back. I don't have it anymore. I can test it. I can't really do a long test on this. When I used it, it was fine. So I just looked up in the manual. It says use a normal CR2032. So it is a CR2032 Elsnarko, but it's plugged with a special plug. It's not like... I don't know how to explain. I don't know if we're gonna find it. Wait, I'm gonna show you because I've seen it online. I didn't open mine. Watch, simple. Let me check what is gonna pop out. Give me 1 second, chat. Yeah, here we go. This is how it look like. Yeah. Look, this is how it look like. So this is a battery, but it come in this little pocket like that. You see? So this is what I was saying. $15 a piece, dude. So you can't just buy a normal one. You have to buy this thing. It's decent, dude. I was like, man, why can they make a freaking motherboard that like everyone has? Like why? Like, am I insane, dude? Am I asking for too much? So I don't know, bro. Like I feel like the only motherboard when I was looking at the motherboard. So I'm gonna tell you, like if I had to redo it again, I would go with the Asus. Let me see the model they have, dude. Like I look at the price, it's one of the most expensive one. I was like, why are you not doing that for all of your freaking motherboard, dude? No, I don't think it's this one. Let me check, chat. Like it was the Asus one. The one I kind of like, who has all the feature I wanted. Do they have a Dark Hero? I think the name was Dark Hero, dude. Yeah, I think this is the one. To all this, the one I've seen, yeah, that's the one I would get, dude. Yeah, because you have the GG stuff there. You have like, I don't know, I think he has like 4 NVMe. You have 4 SATA. I don't have 4 SATA on my freaking motherboard, dude. And you have a 10 gigabyte. Like this is what I've been looking for. Like SATA, the 10 gigabyte Ethernet, right? Because they put all of the stuff. Me, I don't want this. I want the SATA port. I want the 10 gigabyte Ethernet. I want the NVMe. End of story. And this one, it costs like $900, chat. You know, you have a button there. It sounds crazy, but when you have a button, you're happy. Because you can press the button to start it or whatever when you have a problem. So he has 5 M2 slots. Okay, he has 5 of them. Look. Now we talk. Like, this is the motherboard I will go for now. But when you look at the price, you're like, whoa, like, what like... It's just too expensive. Look, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB. What is this? The Rogue Chronamin? Loki, I haven't used SATA in ages, but I use it for the stream, right? Because you see, listen, some things that make me think too, like this is the third point, dude. Right now, when I install CachyOS and everything, I have to use an external hard drive because I don't have enough SATA port on this freaking ProArt. I just have 2 SATA ports. Like each time I want some basic feature, dude. Right? I don't care about all of this. I don't really care. This is not what I want. Like I legitimately don't care. I want the Dr. Debug, I want SATA, I want NVMe drive, and I want 10 gigabyte. That's all I need. And when I did my research, bam. Buy a SATA PCI Express card. So think about it this way, dude. You got a motherboard, whatever it is, right? You put your 5090 here. So the 5090 here, it takes like 4 slots, almost, like 3.5. So it goes there. Like the fan stop here. This is how big of a card it is. Oh, sorry. I show you. My bad. So you see, like, you get this card or another card, like another motherboard. You put your 5090 here. The card is big like that. Like he almost stop here, right? And then you have to put another card there, which is gonna be stuck against the fan, and which gonna break the intake of your 5090. No, I'm not doing that, dude. Get a PC riser, yeah, okay, and build it on an open build. You know, like when you build it with your feet and with 1 foot behind your back, and you use your right feet to screw the screw because this is what you want. You know what I mean? And then what you do, you put some holy water and you splash it to make sure it boots. Brother, come on. Like, stop, brother. Like, I know you got the solution for everything, dude. I respect you, but like, come on. Like, you know what I meant? You literally spent freaking 500 in the board, and you have to do trick? Like, what is this? Like, am I becoming crazy? Listen, dude. Like, 5 years ago, for $300 USD dollar, you will have a monster. You will have like top of the line motherboard. You will have like something insane. And now watch, with 300 you have a half-baked motherboard. I don't want to be mean or anything, but this is the truth. I paid mine like, and I had a good price because he went up. I noticed the freaking motherboard went up. Like now it's like 500 USD for my board. But I'm sorry, it's not worth 500 USD. It's not. It's a good board, but it's not a great board, dude. I'm sorry. Voilà, alors after, do we have solution? Yeah, but it shouldn't be like that. First name, last name, what's up? Just water cooled it, bro. Yeah. Everybody got a solution, yeah. Just, dude, come on. Just buy it, like, just, come on, dude. Be real, like, Air Max, wake up. Just spend another like $1,000 just to have like 2 SATA port on top of it. No. For Asus board, 10GB LAN is only offered in Pro Art or Extreme variant. Yeah, I noticed. So this is, I don't think it's a extreme, but it still has like the 10GB, dude. I think I saw it. What is this? Oh yeah, the connector. Oh la la, look at this. Oh my gosh, voila. You put your big whatever. Like we don't need that, dude. This is actually good. You see this little button? This I agree. Like this is smart. Voila, the Q code. You know, they sell you that like, hey guys, be ready. You have the Q code. You are on top of the like, bro. Like it should be on. Like, how much does this cost? The Q code? It costs like $5. Why don't they put it on every card? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't need this. Like, this is ugly. Like, anyways. I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm crazy, man. I don't know, but like this experience has been really eye-opening for me. Yeah, you see, he has 10 and 5 gig. But it's Realtek. Well, but it works, right? Yeah, I know. I can try to restart it. Wait. Guys, I'm gonna restart the stream. Okay, are we back, chat? Okay, we are back. So, I don't know, man. I broke down and barred the X670E Taishi under the same logic, before the exploding AMD processor, I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there is that on top of it. But I can guarantee you that the AMD like exploding processor is actually a real thing. Because we're talking about motherboard right now. Because I wanted to share that with you, right? Yeah, I think if I go back with a motherboard, I would get rid of my ProArt and I would go with this one. Like, can we put ECC memory on it? This is a real question. Tech spec, yeah. Voila, ECC works, chat. So worst case scenario, if you want to make it a freaking like whatever server board, you can still transfer it. But if I had to redo it, I would go with this one. When I bought my ProArt, this one did not exist. I don't know when they released it, but I don't remember seeing it. He has AI intelligence, so all the board now they have AI intelligence. They put AI everywhere, anyways. Salut my chest, what's up? And sorry I had to restart the stream. Everything is good, right? Yeah, both on YouTube and Twitch. Awesome. So yeah, I think I would go with this one, chat. Because you have the NVMe, you have the SATA, you have the 10 gigabyte. You have the button, you have the debug. Voila, like you are here, you are like, okay, I'm solid. Right? Hey, Tovan, what's up? Guys, how are you doing? Happy Friday, everyone. Cheers. I think the stream is stable now. That is a good board. A couple years ago, when I was building my PC, Asus only offered 10 GB on their Extreme and ProArt. Yes, this is exactly what I was saying. I went with the ProArt for that. I don't like even their what's the name here? This stuff there, whatever you want to call it. I'm not fan of it because you need their proprietary like RGB software. So on Linux, it doesn't work well. You see, you have the RGB connector here. You see those white. Those are the RGB connector here. I don't know if you see it back here. Those one here. I connected my case to it just to make it like red. I just want red, okay? It doesn't work. Salut Steelpeak. Six of my executives slapped AI to their title as part of this merger without having done a damn thing with AI. I think we are better than them in AI than they ever will be, dude. That's part of the trend, right? Everybody is wearing the AI mask. So yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't even want to look at the price. It's gonna be like $1,000 type of motherboard. I'm not in market for that anyways. I don't care. Like I'm happy with my board. But you know, it would have been great to have a debug here. Right? Maybe when we upgrade the CPU, we sell the pack. I'm gonna sell the package, you know, like the ProArt and the CPU, like second hand, be like, okay, goodbye. We take something new. But anyways, I don't know. We are not there yet. But if I had to target one board, I would go with this one. Okay, so that's what I learned, chat. The debug, really important. Look for the CMOS, because you know, like it's so odd that they are removing part and like moving stuff around, and you don't even know where things are anymore. And this is what happened with this card. Because I was like, dude, where is the battery? It's like, I need to reset it. Where is the battery? Well, guess what? There is none. It's behind here. There is a battery, but it's a special one. It's this one here, which is $15 a piece. And you have to order it from this guy, apparently. Like, what a pain. What a freaking pain. But the board itself, for the price, I think this is the best compromise. Until you say, okay, I have the cash, I want to burn money, you go with this. Voilà, you go with this. I don't think you're gonna have problem. That will be my 10 cents. Gigabyte X100 870E Aorus Master. How about that one? So, yeah, Gigabyte are really good, dude. I'm scared about them because they have this X3D enhancer. Yeah. I'm just scared about them. You know what I noticed too with this board? So, if you just want to plug your CPU and put the expo stuff and run the board, this is great. If you want to start to tweak, I think the BIOS was a little bit simple. For my taste. It's a bare minimum, dude. It's working, it's clean, like I have nothing to say about it. But it's not the type of like BIOS you're gonna use to tinker. It's a type of BIOS which is just like set up and forget. This is not the type of BIOS where you tinker, you know, you go hard, you go with the timing, you have multiple options, you can start to do things, try to... No, there is not enough option in it. So you don't have... Like, I remember, right? You don't have... Like, I was in it, I was like, oh, that's all? That's all you have? So on one hand, I was happy because it didn't push my inner me to go and, you know, like play with the button, kind of. So I was like, it works. Which is what you want. But like, if you need more... It feels like it lacks a lot of feature compared to this or even my ProArt. My ProArt has so many features, dude. This is crazy. So, yeah. MSI is still tops because apparently they use high quality capacitor. Even Asus is using cheap capacitor right now, and Gigabyte and ASRock, well, just look at the news. Yeah. Oh, okay, I didn't know about the capacitor, dude. If you are going to put more than 2 NVMe drive, double check the manual to see if the slot share PC lane with the GPU. Some board layout for the lower, to lower the GPU. Yeah, I know that too. Yep. Gigabyte board are supposed to be good, but their GPU are bad. I will never purchase the Gigabyte product. Gigabyte keep having cracked board, component burnout, not covered by warranty. Dude, don't say that. My AI server, it's all Gigabyte. It's all Gigabyte. Please don't say that to me. My man. I don't know. I feel like... I don't know. I like me would be this card, dude. It's... I have, like, the one I have of my 5950X is a Crosshair 2. I think it's the same branding, Dark Hero or whatever. It is a solid card, brother. Like, it's like... If you knew what I did... So, okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the conversation. Well, we cut out with the motherboard. It's done. My Asus ProArt works. So, it works. I don't want to spend any dime on this strat. It works, boom. So, to continue the story, when I put my CPU in this one, he showed me the code. And the code was clear. It was 94. And it couldn't boot. So you know what I started to think? And I was on Discord with a member of La Crème de la Crème Club. I was like, guys, could it be something connected to it? And we had Udaznik. Udasnik was on Discord. He was like, yeah, sometimes, you know, those USB like connectors there, the cable and the overhand create some type of short, and it could be the reason why. So I'm like, man, he's right. So I take it off, and the motherboard start to boot normally again. And I was like, dude, this is it. I change. So I switch the PSU, I switch the GPU, I switch the RAM, I switch the NVMe drive, I boot without the card, I boot with the GPU card. I did all of this just to notice that I should have unplugged this freaking cable. And so I do some tests, and guess what? Even with it not connected, it still do the same thing. And I'm like, no. So then I'm thinking, maybe it's some of those cables at the back, you know, connected there. Maybe it's something else. And I check. It's not that either. And at this point, I don't know it. Because I switch everything. And the only thing I didn't switch was the freaking CPU, dude. It was a freaking CPU, chat. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a new CPU. So I order a new CPU on Amazon. It came the day after. So there, I was like, do I buy the, you know, like the big CPU? Honestly, like you can see, like the number of sub on the channel, we are fairly behind there. I was like, dude, like. This is not a good time to spend money, dude. So I'm like, just get the one you had, and we'll see how it goes, right? So I bought the same one. I got some type of discount. I got like 20% discount on the 9800 X3D. So I'm like, meh. Put it there. And guess what? No, I didn't put it there. So I got it. And because everything was kind of like narrowed down, I put the new CPU on the old motherboard, so on the ProArt. I took off everything again, put everything back in, and all those tests, I made them without any GPU, right? Because you can use the back port here, this one, to use the integrated GPU, so the iGPU from the CPU. So I put the board in it, I booted, and ta-da! It worked, dude. On my old motherboard. So it was not the motherboard. It was not any of the freaking components, dude. It was my 9800 X3D who just died. And the error here, and I learned something here too, chat. So you see here, the error was showing PCI Express bus enumeration 94. Watch. 94 Doctor debug XA70 PCI bus enumeration 32. Just here, chat. Okay. So what does it mean? And I learned something, dude. So when you have that, it's not the motherboard. The CPU has this integrated in itself, and it check the PCI Express, whatever lane or whatever is going on there, the bus, and if he can't find or if there is some type of problem, it will just hang. And voila, chat. And so because this is integrated to the CPU, that's how I finally find out, dude. So let's. I wanna watch with you, like, what was this? I want to see like what type of like problem people who had like the CPU burning encounter. But I need to explain you what happened, okay? Because you're gonna be, hey, Armax, you overclock your CPU like crazy. So you see, they are burning on Asus board. Maybe this guy knows. So let's see what is being said there. Okay, chat. But I'm gonna tell you exactly what I've done. Like that, maybe you're gonna learn something, or maybe we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Okay. So I got a 9800 X3G, and it was around like 18 months ago. So it was 18 months ago, dude. Okay. I got this. What I did to it was PBO. Okay, like base, like nothing crazy. Okay, and here I put two settings. That's my settings. Like that, I share there with you, dude. Undervolt, all core. Okay, so minus 25. Like my previous chip was handling minus 25 undervolt. Okay, and then what I did was plus 200 megahertz on the max frequency. That's all I did, dude. I didn't touch anything else. And for the RAM, I was in Expo. I think it was Expo tweaked. So Expo tweaked plus and my sauce tight timings. I was my sauce, dude. Like honestly, with the RAM I have, this was useless. At least for gaming. But I like to do it, you know, like I love to overclock my stuff, okay? But here, I didn't really put voltage into it. I just tied the timing. So for people who know how to do that, that's what I've done. And my system was rock stable, chat. When I say rock stable, it was insanely stable until the accident 2 weeks ago. So when you look at this, you have to think, I didn't put voltage into the CPU. Like, normally when you kill a CPU, it's like you put too much voltage inside it, right? And because sometimes what happens is like when you set up the RAM, because the memory controller is inside the CPU, you have to push the voltage, right, to the CPU for it to be able to handle this RAM. Like most of the time, it's like that, right? Well, I didn't have to do any of this because everything was working. And the RAM was at 6,000. Down. What is this? 6,000. I didn't push the RAM. I just put the timing. So the timings, they were CL 2026 at 6,000. I don't remember there. 26, maybe 39. I don't remember, dude. I don't want to say something wrong, but like the biggest one was there, and all the sub timing, I play with them. I don't remember, dude. Well, anyways. So when you look at that, you are like, Air Max, did you fry it? Like, did you push it too hard? Or did you just fry itself? I'm gonna tell you my take, guys. It fried itself. Because what I see here, I'm undervolting it, so yes, on paper he's using less power. I'm not pushing it to the extreme, and you will see we're gonna launch a game. When I play a game in 4K or even in 1440p, because I was in 1440p, my CPU never go up to, like, the maximum I've seen is maybe like 30% usage. Like, it is nothing, chat. This is literally nothing, dude. CPU cooling. Ah, good question. CPU cooling, 360mm AIO. I took the cheapest one, chat. Arctic Freeze 2. That was the cheapest one I found with the best, like, long story short. Yeah, you want to see? Look. I'm gonna show it to you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Is this thing working or what? Okay, it's working. Give me 1 second. Whoa, chat. A big fast fetch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, papa. Oh, there is no temperature there. 1 second. So, Paru. Oh, we don't have Paru, dude. Shelly, install. Bitop, I guess. Shelly, install. Type. What is type? Standard. Bitop. Okay. Wait, I'm installing Bitop right now, chat. No. Yes. Okay. There we go. So my CPU right now. Yeah. My CPU right now, dude, is at a whopping 34 degrees Celsius. Right? Like, we are at 44. Like, this is the CPU temp and this is the package temp. So my package temp rarely go higher than 51 degrees Celsius. And right now we are 34 degrees Celsius idle. Like living on the edge with those temps, huh? Okay, dude. Okay. Alright, so yeah, you get the idea. The CPU, man, the CPU is sleeping, boys and girls. Like, this is just, you know? So, I do nothing crazy with it. I didn't overclock it. I think when I got it first, I put it at like, for like, I don't know, maybe like 1 day or 2 days, I was at like 5.6 megahertz, you know, all core blocked, you know, like when you, exactly how you would be like overclocking your CPU the old school way. But even though, like, I didn't have to push a lot of voltage in it. I didn't abuse it, right? So to give you an idea, like the machine I'm streaming on right now, so it's a little bit struggling, but I think it's more like software. I've been killing it, dude. I've been overclocking the RAM like crazy. I've been pushing this poor CPU like you have no idea. I put so much wattage in this machine. It was actually disgusting, dude. I'm kind of like not proud of myself because I kind of like torture the CPU, dude. And guess what? It still work like perfect, dude. No problem. It has been on for like, I don't know, maybe 8 years now. Or 6 years at least. Anyways, this one dies out of nothing for like after 18 months. 18 months, chat. So, let's see what they have to say, chat. So, Ryzen, CPU are dying. Oh, wait. I need to put the sound. Chat, I need to put the sound. I forget to do that. System, CTL, user, restart, wire plumber, pipe wire. Allez, papa. What? Oh no, my bad. I don't need to do that. I made a mistake. Okay, that was my fault, chat. What am I thinking? Put the sound. Oh wow, put it off. Perfect.
Front, left, front, right.
Oh la la. We sound so good, chat.
My brand new AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D has died. It echoes.
I'm not the only one, chat. I'm not the only one.
Real posts from frustrated PC users who found their high-end CPU suddenly bricked. Today, we're going to be diving deep into the mysteries of the reoccurring 9800, why it's happening across different motherboards, and how you could possibly become the next victim. Widespread failures across the board. Reports have been piling up about the Ryzen 7 9800X3D. Chips failing prematurely. PC Enthusiast has compiled over hundreds of cases of 9800X3D CPUs.
Man, this is scary, dude. So if you have a 9800X3D, I would be scared right now. Like, I don't want to put bad luck on you or anything, but the reality is, like, there is a problem.
That suddenly became unresponsive or died. Many of these CPUs ran initially fine, delivering incredible gaming performance, only just to collapse in a short time. Some users found their new shiny new chip just fail within 1 to 2 days, or
What?
even just a few hours under load. Others ran trouble-free for weeks, months, before encountering a sudden death. Regardless of timing, the pattern has been disturbingly consistent. The common symptoms that spread across these incidences, the PC will abruptly shut off or freeze, and then refuse to boot back up again.
Yeah, so this is what happened to us, dude. So we were compiling, I don't know if you remember, it was Friday live on stream, it was 2 weeks ago. We were compiling something, and poof, it froze. And I was like, whoa, this is odd. Because he never froze before. Like, the way I set it up, it's literally like, it was so stable, chat. And since then, he could not reboot properly. I had to press reset multiple times. Right?
Restart, the system doesn't even post at all. No BIOS screen, no real codes. Many affected motherboards with debug readouts showed the dreaded code 00, which indicates the CPU is unresponsive.
So I didn't have that. I think it did it once, but I had more like 94. 94 was my problem. Torturing CPU with compiling, hey? Okay, dude. Okay,
Often
man. It was 2 Python library for like 2 seconds, dude.
A red CPU error LED glows on the board, signifying a processor fault.
So me was
CPU
white.
practically flatlined. No amount of CMOS resets or part swapping will even revive it. The only fix is to replace this CPU entirely.
Oh, does he have the one I was looking for, the board? Oh, no, it's not. This is another one. This one look good too, chat.
As confirmed by users who popped a different CPU in and saw their system come back to life. In worst case scenarios, there's even physical evidence of the failure. Burn marks on the CPU or the pins.
The Tide boosted test.
Whoa.
Tide is boosted with
Dude.
cleaning ingredients.
I saw the flame, I was like, what the freak is going on, dude? I was like, man. Dude. It was like, boy, this is insane.
What's striking is how ubiquitous these failures have been.
Like,
At
man,
first,
this is
the
serious,
spotlight
though.
was on ASRock boards. Early data suggested that the 9800X
Oh boy, look at this, man. Oh, look at this, chat.
3Ds
This AMD CPU is now Hibachi.
Fs were running in ASRock motherboards. One community tallied up to 82%, but it quickly became clear that it wasn't only just one vendor. Users also have reported deaths with ASUS, MSI, and even Gigabyte.
Yeah.
Every AM5 motherboard has seen a few incidences. Even more niche brands like BioStar or Colorful. That indicates the problem does not lie in one manufacturer's hardware, but more or so fundamentally with how the CPU and the motherboard interact. From each brand's forums, ASRock, ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, all with users complaining about their 9800X3D systems going dark. Each
Oh, oh boy, chat. This gentleman is right.
story sounds eerily familiar. No post, Q code, double zeros, CPU dead, followed by RMA tickets, and the hunt for answers. If you built a Ryzen X3D system and this scenario sends chills down your spine, stick around. We're going to explain what's going on and how to protect your PC.
Protect it. Like, we shouldn't have to do that, chat. We shouldn't have to do that, dude.
Now, AMD's official take blamed the BIOS, but not the CPU, with mounting concerns on the community. According to AMD, the 9800X3D is fundamentally not a bad chip. Rather, the culprit is in the motherboard's firmware. In certain cases, in its statement, AMD explained failures arise because some ODM BIOSes do not adhere to AMD's recommended values
What?
for voltage and power settings. In other words, some motherboard BIOS configurations, especially early and aggressive versions, were pushing the CPU beyond its safe limits. AMD noted that some of the AM5
So I updated. Okay, chat. I updated my firmware all the time. There is just for the last 6 months I did not, but like the prior year I was always up to date. So I'm not sure about that either, chat. I don't think upgrading the BIOS is gonna save us. Like, it just...
boards were overvolting or even overstressing Ryzen chips with improper default settings. When you drop a Ryzen 9000 series, like the 9800X3D, into a board where it's outdated or overzealous with the BIOS, the board might supply higher than recommended SoC voltages or allow unsafe power spikes. conditions that can kill the CPU over time. The company's stance is that this is a firmware misconfiguration issue, not an inherent defect on the 9800 X3D line. Motherboard manufacturers has responded in kind. AMD worked with them to release a urgent BIOS update that rein in on those settings and the safe limits. Essentially, AMD is saying, if you run your 9800 X3D on the updated BIOS with correct voltage parameters, it should operate reliably. Conversely, running on old firmware could be possibly asking for trouble.
This is not true, dude. Like, I'm exactly the example that is not true.
So BIOS compliance is key, and we'll talk shortly about what changes the BIOS has made. On a side note, blame the BIOS, but there's no real merit to it. Remember that the similar saga in the Intel's 13th and the 14th?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. This is exactly the same problem, chat.
At first, everyone suspected it was the motherboards, but it turned out to be Intel's power delivery flaws. AMD is keen to assure that this is not the case here. They insist the 9800 X3D is fine, and it's unsafe operating parameters that need fixing. So let's dig in why the Ryzen 7 9800X.
I feel like we have been digging a lot, no, chat? I feel like we are a little bit turning in circle in this video, dude. All defaults were definitively way too high for some board. But okay. So just to be clear, like I have a ProArt motherboard, Asus, and it still killed my CPU somehow.
3D parameters is uniquely sensitive to those parameters. 3D Vcache and voltage is a delicate combination. Why would a motherboard's default settings suddenly cook a CPU? Especially one that's premium, like the 9800 X3D. The answer lies in the technology inside of the X3D chip. The
Taishi and 9800 X3D are like living wild.
Ryzen 7 9800 X3D, like the 7800 X3D before it, features 3D Vcache. It's an extra slab of L3 cache memory stacked on the processor's die. The innovative 3D stacked cache gives...
Man, this doesn't look good, dude. 80 degrees temperature. Boo!
a huge gaming performance
133 watts? Yeah, makes sense. But like 80 degrees temperature for 71%? Doesn't look good, chat.
boost, but it also makes the CPU a bit more finicky about voltage and heat. AMD's 3D Vcache are known to have tighter tolerances. They simply can't handle the high voltage or temperatures that the Ryzen CPU can take. That margin of error is that much more narrow. The 9800 X3D is like a sports car that's tuned to the edge of its capability. It's blazing fast, but the fuel mix or the oil pressure goes out of whack. It's more likely to blow a gasket than a regular sedan. Likewise, the extra cache on the 9800 X3D limits how you can push the voltages safely. In fact, AMD locks down its core voltage tweaking on the X3D for this particular reason. Even the older 5800 X3D couldn't be overvolted too much without some potential damage. So what exactly is happening on the electrical side? Enthusiast investigations from places such as Gamers Nexus and industry experts have converged a few leading theories. All of them revolve about how the BIOS manages the power on X3D chips. Aggressive voltage defaults. Some motherboard BIOSes were reportedly...
So I think we are turning in circle here. Okay, bro. So what's the point?
These aggressive defaults, while usually fine for non-X3D chips, can certainly stress out an X3D CPU. Expo memory profiles overshoot SoC voltages. Expo is AMD's equivalent to XMP, a one-click DDR5 overclock profile. Enabling Expo can raise SoC voltage to support high-speed RAM. On certain boards, turning Expo causes SoC voltages to spike to dangerous levels.
What? Bro. No. No. How? Like, can someone explain me why switching? If you switch the RAM to a different timing and everything. It shouldn't be affecting the SoC right away without your consent, dude. Oh, I'm so tired, dude. So you're like... I'm so confused. Expo technically overclock, but it should be limited at the RAM. Like... I understand the memory controller is in the CPU, but still... Yeah, I don't think it comes from the chipset, Abdullah. It doesn't come from the chipset because this guy is running a X670 and he had this CPU burn. There is a memory controller in the CPU mechanical. The higher RAM clock, the more load you put on the memory controller. Yes, I agree with that. So this is what I was saying, like, I agree. But... Bro. He went from 1.3 volt to freaking 2 volts there. Oh, you don't see it. Wait. Look. He went from 1.3 volt to 2 volt. Well, like, who is in charge? Like, what did that, dude? Obviously, my CPU is gonna die. And I can't even control it. I'm tired, boss.
1.35 to 1.4 volts, or even more, which the 9800 X3D
Whoa.
cannot tolerate for too long.
Of course it's gonna cook.
Overshoot during memory training, and is suspected to have fried some chips. The 9800 X3D is a recipe for failure. Even if the BIOS is slightly out of spec, the X3D might silently degrade each time you give it a full tilt, until one day it gives up the ghost. It's telling that Gamers Nexus, in their testing, managed to induce some failures on the Ryzen X3D chips by running them under unsafe voltage conditions. Their analysis highlighted voltage overshoot and inadequate safeguards as prime suspects, rather than obvious manufacturing. The takeaway was not a bad CPU, but tight tolerances plus bad firmware decisions. In a few cases, user error, like incorrect cooling installation or outdated BIOS. This could also contribute to the problem. But the core issue appears that the voltage management tightrope that X3Ds certainly walk. Motherboard BIOS fixes and exactly what has changed. Facing these failures, motherboard vendors had rushed out the BIOS updates to make their boards safer for X3D.
So when did they push it? August 2025. Yeah, so me, I updated the BIOS, but maybe my CPU was cooked already.
Chips. Our notable example came from AceRock, since a large chunk
maybe my CPU was cooked before that.
About mid 2025, AceRock rolled out a BIOS version 3.4 for its AM5 lineup with specific stability improvements according to AceRock's release, and plus its community findings. This update did a couple of big things, which was disable memory P state by default, because memory P state are power saving states for the memory controller. By disabling this feature, the memory subsystem runs at full voltage and frequency at all times instead of dynamically, lowering its idle. Why? To possibly avoid any abrupt voltage spikes over a tiny bit of power savings. A wise trade-off, as it prevents crashes or even worse. They also adjusted the VDDCR, SoC voltage handling. That's the SoC voltage parameter. They were tweaked significantly. Didn't publish the exact value. The community discovered that the new BIOS was capped at the SoC voltage around at 1.2 volts and locked down its behavior. The load line calibration for the SoC rail, which controls voltage droop, which was at a moderate level 3 rather than auto. The SoC voltage itself runs at a fixed mode at 1.2 volts, indicating fluctuating higher. This ensures the SoC, which powers up the 3D cache and the memory interface, never gets near the danger zone between 1.3 volts max to 1.4 volts. That might cause harm. The fact is that AceRock fixed had the clamp voltages and turned off a power state feature. So
maybe the CPU was cooked and just degraded over time in an unsafer state. I don't know, man. Like, you see, this new CPU, I feel like they don't interact as the one we had before. So my mind and my thought process need to adapt to all of those things. Because you expect the motherboard manufacturer to deliver like a basic load line calibration, which is within spec, whether you put Expo or not. Like, and here it's not the case. And when you dig into it, you can tell, like, even if you start to play with those numbers, you can't really fix the problem. Hey, salut Galax. So you still have to give your like trust to whatever your motherboard is running there. Maybe I'm burning my CPU right now, my new CPU. I don't even know. Because even if I modify that, because there is like this load line calibration level 3, to me it doesn't mean anything. Because it's behind the scene. Because you set it to 1.2, but you still have to play with the load line calibration, which is something they handle on their hand. So the real like control you have here is pretty minimal, in fact.
how systematic the issue is.
Right? And this is what he was saying, because when you talk about the P state, it's just saying that in between like the sleeping time and the non-sleeping time, because the BIOS is not set up properly, and there is nothing you can do about that, it will still push like too much voltage when you wake up. And this is where you kill your system. But there is no like trigger in the BIOS to say, hey, so those guys, what they do is they disable P state to avoid having to deal with this. So you get where I'm going, right? Like it's in my opinion, like we have a MOBO issue. We have something wrong there. Each MOBO maker has their own special feature and BS/tweak to make their sim like the one to buy. They want of the rares. Yeah,
it's
again.
Not just one or two flaky boards. It's an entire approach of configuring the CPU to adjust it across the board lineup. Other manufacturers issued similar BIOS updates, often quietly including notes such as improved CPU stability or enhanced memory compatibility, which bellied the seriousness of the underlying issue. MSI, for instance, released a new firmware ensuring SoC voltages stay within AMD's guidelines. And ASUS did the exact same thing. By late 2025, new motherboards were shipped with safer defaults straight out the box, and the rate of 9800 X3D failures slowed down, though not completely to zero, indicating ongoing vigilance is needed.
There is a problem,
One interesting clue from these fixes, AceRock was initially the #1 killer of X3D CPUs by numbers, and indeed they were the first amongst the aggressive fixes. Why so many on AceRock? Possibly because AceRock is a popular in budget builds, hence more widespread, or perhaps their early.
Like if you look at the pricing of AceRock and the lineup they had, it was the best card out there. I didn't went through it. I don't remember why. I think it was an issue with the 10 gigabyte or something like that. But AceRock was my first choice. They had such good motherboard, dude. Like the layout, the way they distribute the PCI lane. Like this is a really good motherboard. So this is the reason why. And they were cheap. Like compared to ASUS, you have a good motherboard for like 2/3 of the price.
BIOS was a bit more adventurous, with voltages achieves memory overclocks. Regardless, after BIOS 3.4, an equivalent from vendors, the playing field had become more level, and the focus shifted, ensuring users actually updated to the firmware updates. You might be thinking, this sounds like it affected cheaper motherboards, or inexperienced builders who hasn't updated.
Yeah, I had this approach where, you know, some random dude is gonna tell you, oh, but it's user error, right? It's always user error. I'm like, whoa. You really, like, normally to burn a CPU, you need to go so hard, chat. I think people, they don't realize. You need to go really, really hard for a really, really, really long time. I remember when people said the 12 VH power problem were all user error. Yeah, exactly. Because, oh, it didn't happen on my machine. Yeah, sure. Wait a little bit.
BIOS. But here's the scary part. Even a flagship motherboard wasn't immune. Case in point, ASUS ROG Crosshair series. Some of the expensive and feature-packed AM5 boards.
Feature-packed!
X3D failures just as well.
Man, I like the way this guy speak. Feature packed.
In fact, too well documented.
I should speak like
cases
that.
on Reddit involved a top-tier X870E board such as the Crosshair Hero X870E and the ROG Strix E-Gaming X870E, suffering dead CPUs. In the first case, a user was running a Ryzen 7 9800X3D on the mighty Crosshair X870E Hero, a board known for its power delivery, often used by overclockers. You'd expect the board can handle anything.
Oh no. Wow. This is our participation, dude. Participation to the dude work. Hopefully, my 9800X3D is not cooked. Well, that's all I wish to you, dude. Mine cooked.
Arc Raiders, the system
It just
froze
cooked.
solid. The user
And it was so hard to
only
find out
to be met with
it was
ominous
actually the
code
CPU was
on the
insane.
motherboard's display. Q-code 00 basically means
'Cause
that
I don't have
something
this,
detected or
so I couldn't tell what it
registered as
was.
Critical CPU failure. No amount of troubleshooting could bring it back to life. The chip appeared to be dead. The user even inspected the CPU physically. No obvious burn or bent pins. But when
Yeah.
they swapped it with a replacement processor, the
It
system
worked.
posted fine. The 9800X3D had indeed expired on that board. That usually lasts than anything at a lab accident, as one reporter quipped. The second ASUS case, if anything, it was a bit more alarming. This user's 9800X3D ran for nearly a year on a ROG Strix X870E gaming motherboard before dying out of the blue. No early warning sign.
Yeah.
One day the PC just wouldn't boot, showing code 00. They took the chip over to a repair shop, which confirmed it was lifeless. And get this, the shop said they had over 20 similar cases of dead X3D CPUs. That's not exactly a scientific data point, but it shows that the local technicians were noticing a pattern too. Interestingly, this user admitted of using not the latest firmware. This aligns with AMD's ASUS's advice that running older BIOSes from before voltage fixes could leave your CPU vulnerable. ASUS has officially acknowledged the incident after initially staying quiet. In January 23rd, ASUS announced an immediate internal review. The AM5 motherboards in light the 9800X3D, the public statement urged users to update to the newest BIOS and reassured that they were working with AMD to investigate this issue and to maintain stability. The fact
So January, it was in January, right, chat? So let me check, because maybe it's me, maybe it's an user error. Let's see, chat. You know, dude, maybe it's me. I'm just a noob in computing. Like, it's my first audio, chat, so never know. Okay, so that's my motherboard. BIOS, yeah. Okay, so I'm running this one actually. This is the one I'm running right now. I tried this one, and yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to update to this one soon. Okay, so I was running. That's the one I was running, chat. That's the one I was running, dude. 19 December 2025. So it's not that old. Ageza updated to whatever for better security. I think I started with this BIOS, I think. That's the one I had at the beginning, or I updated to, and then I did like all those BIOS update, right? To finish on this one. And now we are running this one here. I'm just trying to see if they had a BIOS when they were like, oh, you need to do it, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find like a BIOS description where they say, hey, you have to do it. But I just see enhanced system performance stability. Like, I don't see something like you need to do it, right? Type of approach. Because I was on this one. There is no description who say like, hey, do it now. You know what I mean? It's just potential boot failure, stability issue. Well, you know, everything is cool. Compatibility, performance, support expo, enhanced Acronews. Bon, why not? You know what I mean, chat? There is nothing like I need to update now.
That even an ultra premium board like the Crosshair Hero were affected dispelled any notion that was user error or cheap hardware. It underscored anyone with the 9800X3D, no matter the motherboard cost, needed to pay attention to firmware and settings. Now the conclusions and recommendations of the 9800X3D owners. What's the bottom line of this deep dive? The Ryzen 7 9800X3D's troubles came down to a perfect storm of cutting edge tech and overzealous tuning. The 3D V-Cache design makes it incredibly powerful, but also less tolerant of voltage overshoot. Early do this. Make sure your motherboard is on the latest BIOS version available. Check the manufacturer's support page. Need these critical updates. To check what SoC voltage the board is set. You can often see it in the BIOS PC health section or via HWinfo.
Yeah, but you see like
it should be around 1.25, not soaring beyond that. If it is higher, consider manually dialing it down or disabling Expo for now. Number 3, monitor your CPU's health. Keep an eye on indicators like the CPU. Temperatures, excess heat can imply something is off with voltage. Consider running a hardware monitor temperature to log voltages.
So he's at the same level as me. 37 degrees for the CPU and 48 for the package.
Under load, while you obviously can't see, failure is coming in most cases. Unusual behavior like instability at stock settings should be a red flag. If your system shows any random glitches, double check firmware and dip back any tweaks. It's
Bro, look at this firmware, dude. Is it The guy is trolling, no? Chat, is he trolling? Is he trolling the dude? Look at this. BIOS version 14.15, release date 2023. I can't believe this, chat. The guy has to be trolling, boys. C'est pas possible.
It's easy to get complacent, but remember X3D chips, they're running close to the edge by design already.
BIOS is even older than the CPU. I know what the heck is going on. Sharika, how are you doing, dude?
And number 4, when in doubt, play conservative. Until this socket is fully...
You can save your CPU if you don't take it out of the packaging.
It's okay to be conservative. You likely bought the 9800
That's right.
3D for top-tier gaming performance.
Exactly,
you
dude.
have it without aggressive overclocks. Running your DDR5 memory at JDEX settings.
That's
or
fine.
at Safe Expo profile. Keeping your SoC and other voltages at default safe. The
Okay,
early
well, I
weakness
learned
here,
nothing, chat.
And now the 9000 series issues. They put safeguards in place. If you follow the guidelines...
Okay, like, long story short, upgrade the BIOS.
Alright, what's up boys? This video is going to be
What's
a little
up?
bit different than my normal video. I know normally I have little funny edits in the intro, but I want this video to be as quick, concise, and kind of like a resource for information for people. So what I'm going to be talking about is the issue with the 9800 X30 CPUs.
Okay,
right now.
this
It's
is
a
gonna be
very
fast.
bad wattage issue, and basically it's killing CPUs, and I see Reddit posts all the time talking about their 9800 X30 died. I don't see anyone talking about the solution. I don't see anybody talking about the cause. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why it's happening and how you can fix it and prevent your 9800 X30 from dying. I'm also going to be providing proof for you guys, but of course, feel free to test it on your own system.
Really,
I'm gonna show
Sharika?
you guys exactly how to test it, and I'm going to show you the real results on my own system. So briefly to discuss why it happens. If you guys
Okay,
don't care
so-
about tests and you just want to get a quick fix, I'm going to explain why and what you can do to go ahead and fix it right now. And then for those who want to see the proof, we're going to do that after this.
Okay, so this is so the number at Asus are all the same. So this was the before version of my BIOS. There is something more to it, dude. It was exactly 6 months ago. Like this, there is. Listen, dude. There is something more, chat. I'm telling you straight. Let's see what he says, but my BIOS was this one. Like it was the one just after, and it still died.
So basically, what's killing these CPUs is the wattage. I'm going to pull up HWinfo64 and show you guys what number we're going to be looking for. So if you scroll down, you'll see CPU package power. You'll see
Yeah.
the amount of wattage your CPU is pulling. For some
Sure.
reason, a lot of people are saying it's just voltage. It's completely false. It is not just voltage. You do want to check your voltage. You can come down here and check your vCore. However, based off my extensive testing, and based off all the computers I've worked on, the voltage does not seem to be the issue at all. What is getting dangerously high is your CPU package power. On some systems, I've seen this get as high as 300 watts. Obviously, if your CPU package power is running at 300 watts, it's way more than the supported wattage for the CPU, and this is exactly what's burning and killing the 9800 X30s. So why is it happening, and how can we fix it? So to stop
He never
CPU
did it
package
for me.
power from just blasting your CPU with way more wattage than it needs, we need to downgrade our Agessa version. I talked about this and explained this in my 9800 X30 BIOS optimization guide. In that video, I explained to you guys that all these BIOS versions were bad, and there's two good ones. I've done more manual testing since then. I have discovered what I said then is still true. However, in that video, I said that this version 1.2.7.0 was good, and it is better than these other bad versions, but it still has the package power issue. It's not as aggressive, but it is still very bad. So the Agessa version you need to be on that doesn't blast the high voltage is this one right here, 1.2.03a patch A. Obviously, this is an older BIOS version, but who cares? If it's not blasting literally 300 watts on your CPU, who cares? Just revert, gonna be way better. I've also noticed that doing this, I can get a way better overclock on my RAM as well. It makes it much more stable. I can get higher core clocks on my CPU, and obviously because of
Yeah. Brother, like I don't doubt what this gentleman is saying. I think I'm telling you the reality, chat. I'm gonna tell you straight. This is an underlying issue with whatever they cook in the motherboard. That's all. Like you can turn it in every direction, and the reality is like we don't have control on some of those tweaks, and this is what drives me insane, chat. How the heck does he have 170 watt? I think the limit is 160, no?
is around 162. If it pushes past this limit just a little bit, obviously it's just going 5 past. It's not an issue. It's very common, especially with overclocking, and I have overclocked my CPU a little bit. But now that you guys can see that it's maxing out at around 168, I'm going to cancel Prime 95. I'm now going to update my BIOS to the very latest 1.2.7.0 and show you guys the result of that. All right, what's up, boys? I just updated my BIOS. I was on 53 core clock overall in the other BIOS. I can't even do that stable on this BIOS on the new one, so I'm at 52.70.2.7.0, I guess.
Okay,
The
okay.
CPUs, it's blasting way too much voltage. So I'm probably going to close out of this very quickly. Obviously, I don't want to damage my CPU physically just for a video. Alright, I have now tried twice Prime 95 small FPS on this, and it just freezes instantly on this new Agessa version. Just to try to speedrun
Okay.
this instead of trying to stabilize it and taking time, I just insta bumped it down to
Okay,
just
bro,
flat.
okay,
Let's see if I can
yeah,
run
but-
this at least for at minimum just a few seconds so you guys can see the package power. If not, then I mean you guys get the point. Obviously, it is just unstable regardless. So let's go ahead and try for a third time and see if we can run Prime 95 smallest SFTS on this Agessa. So here we go. Let's click OK and see if it crashes.
So this is what we need to look here, chat. Right now is at 50 watt.
And it looks like we're stable for now, but we can see that it
Oh my gosh, dude. 215 what? Bro, 215 watt in the 9800 X3G? Bro. My man! My man!
Instantly went up to 213 watts. My CPU instantly went to 94 Celsius. So yeah, I just stopped it instantly because obviously this would keep climbing and climbing, go to like 300 watts until the computer would just shut itself off again. So this is what's happening. This is why the CPUs are bugged. It is dangerously high on the wattage. It should never be hitting 213 regardless, and this would just keep going up. I've worked on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of computers, and I've seen this time and time and time again. This issue is not just specific to AstroRock or this video. I'm going to 5 this instantly at 213 watts.
So normally with PBO, you're supposed to, you can log this down.
Video, we weren't Ryzen or AMD.
Okay. Now I'm curious, right? Now you got me, dude. So standard OCCT, I think it is. Now I'm interested, dude. Now we talk, chat. Now we talk, boys. Night Chief, I just wanted to share this. Thanks for... yeah. Thanks for one of your video. I learned how to compile TKG kernel in native mode to my CPU. Now my Arch installed with the CachyOS Zen 4 version to Firefox and my gaming 1% low are lighting fast and my frame rate are smooth and tight in CS2. Thanks again. Hey, thank you, dude. Enjoy your custom kernel. And go say hi to TKG. Like, TKG is a good guy. You say thanks to him, I think he's gonna appreciate it too, dude. Thanks to one of your video, I learned... Oh, so you wrote it twice, Andy. Okay, I got you. Both of them. Sorry I didn't answer right away. Andy, I'm happy for you, dude. Enjoy. I wonder if I was anything to do with it. I noticed this voltage spike and so from this post when it was happening, this was when I was on Windows and since I've always updated the BIOS. Yes. So let's see what happened. Extreme. Auto, thread setting, whatever. So, no, I don't want to do RAM, I want to do CPU. Extreme, auto, blah, blah, blah. What can we monitor? So this is the trick. What can we monitor in terms of package? Oh, give me 1 second. Yeah, so on Linux, you don't have access to that. I can see the wattage, dude. This is insane, no? I just can't see the wattage. So watch, I show you, like, there is no wattage. Zen power. How are you doing, by the way, Dragon Slayer? Not Zeb, Zen. Okay, Max. Okay, dude. Okay. We sure about that, dude? Hmm. Okay. We have a search version with this. Mm-hmm. Okay, I give up. So, yeah, I don't have what I want to see there, chat. So maybe we're gonna have to switch to Windows to check. Yeah, this is really bad. This is really bad. I wonder if this has to do anything to it. I noticed this voltage spike and I saw this form post when it was happening. Then I was on Windows and I have since always updated the BIOS. Yeah. Then power is in the AUR. So I can't look at link right now, brother. So what is he saying?
So if there's one thing I've learned about doing tech content for the last 14 years is it's cyclical. That means we have a lot of repeat, right? New CPUs, new GPUs, new family architecture, and everything kind of repeats itself, and you run through the motions over and over and over again. You know what's also cyclical? Apparently 9800X3Ds deciding right around the first of the year is a good time to start blowing up.
Okay, symptom. Let's see the symptom.
X3D in a community data set, and the majority of those were boot failures that were resolved with BIOS updates and stuff. So what you're getting now too in some of these posts is a plethora of potential problems. Now, there's many reasons you might get double zeros and the CPU doesn't boot. The 9800X3D, especially in the early days, was very sensitive to particular RAM QVLs, newer RAM at the time, maybe not having been validated with that motherboard on that CPU, or potentially even people not having updated their BIOS because the motherboard was built prior to the CPU launching. In fact, if you recall, when I did the Threadripper video, we had double zeros on that boot, and because I totally forgot that motherboard chipset came out way prior to the CPU that we had, because the new Threadrippers basically launched on TRX 50, which was the previous generation, technically a 7000 series Threadripper generation board. So I forgot all about that and did a BIOS flashback and everything was working. But that to a layman who picks these pieces up off, remember, I already had the CPU, but the board we got now, which was not updated to work with our CPU, but that means the board was manufactured a long time ago and sat on shelves for who knows how long, right? So you might go, well, enough time's passed.
My man. My man.
So it should be fine, but not always, as you saw. But let's talk about the actual failure rates, though, at representation of motherboard manufacturers. In fact, most recent reports, and when we talk about most recent reports, we're talking about a few different areas. We're talking about AMD Reddit posts, like AMD forums on Reddit, right? AMD subreddit. We're talking about the PCMR subreddit. We're talking about various subreddits. Almost 80% of current failures that have popped back up are being represented by ASRock. I'm wondering now if it has something to do with the launch of the 9850 X3D. Because one of my theories here is that if the 9850 X3D require, to get up to 5.6 gigahertz or up to, might have a completely different logic regarding the voltage curve. And it's possible that some of that logic might have slipped into the 9800 X3D's logic as well when it comes to the motherboard. It might just see both of these CPUs as the same CPU, which I'm totally...
Okay, I have enough, chat. I have enough. Okay, so that's a speculating cause. Preventive measure, let's see what he say.
Tide OxyMax Power Pods,
No. I think there is no real preventive measure, dude, outside of like upgrading your BIOS. This is what kind of like make me upset. Or removing Expo. But this is just rough, dude. I don't know about that. The 7000 series X3D are fine. Yeah, it's just this series,
Like I already said, the number one thing to do is going to be install the latest BIOS and install the latest VGesa. Now those they come as a package, right? So it's not like you have to do them separately. The VGesa is always bundled with the BIOS. Now you can technically, I think, install the 8 cases separate, but always do it as a bundle through your motherboard manufacturer, not through like the AMD website. Now, it's important, like I already stated, if we talk about the scenario where my Threadripper board was much older than our CPU, and our CPU came out last summer, like I said, that means that board was sitting on shelves for at least a year.
You want to scream right now?
The same thing can be said for current mainstream motherboards.
Agendas.
AMD is so popular right now.
Okay.
If you go to Micro Center, you will see literally downtown city skyscrapers of AMD boards just on the floor, on the shelf, on the wall, in the warehouse because they're moving that many of them. Typically, that would mean they're moving so many that it's probably unlikely that you would get a board that's really old on the BIOS that it ships with, but that doesn't mean you won't get a motherboard that's shipped with an older BIOS that could be a potentially
Yeah, but it's not a
problematic
reason
BIOS
for
that is
failure, right?
maybe falling into these ranges of BIOS that could be potentially causing problems. It's funny.
Okay, so he's saying that you could get a older board and don't upgrade the BIOS, and then it could burn your CPU.
It's such backwards philosophy from what I used to have even just 5 years ago, which was I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
Yeah. It always been that, dude. If the CPU works, sometime you will upgrade BIOS and it will just burn everything anyways. Like it will make everything like worse. So the strategy was always the same. It's like don't upgrade. And now it's the opposite. And that's the reason why like I didn't upgrade for 6 months. It's not like I forget. I was like, the system is stable, everything seems fine.
for most users, updating the BIOS seems like a very scary thing, but considering almost every motherboard on the market these days, if you go with a higher end chipset like a
like a $900 motherboard, you know, something cool. Ah!
B650, B850, X870 are going to have BIOS flashback features, which means
Are affected people at least getting proper customer support? Well, the problem is like, for example, in my case, it was so hard to figure it out it was a CPU. Because in my head, I was like, oh, it's going to never happen to me. I did nothing to the CPU. I didn't overclock it that hard. So why would it die on me? It was so like... I really thought it was everything except the CPU. Let's be honest. Like everything except the freaking CPU, dude. Boom. CPU. If you don't upgrade BIOS, the Windows help all users upgrade the BIOS for them. What? And that night smell appear. You're looking outside the window thinking someone making a grill, but it's actually the PC. Have a nice day. Well, if your CPU is still in warranty, probably, but yes, it happened after the warranty period, well, you're done. But like just finding out it's the CPU, it is hard. It is hard because you don't... Dude, I'm repeating myself. Frying a CPU is really hard. Like, you have to really, like, destroy it.
even if you get a full power loss and catastrophic power shutdown in the middle of a BIOS flash, you can recover and get up and running again. It's not like the old days where if the cat tripped the power strip while you were flashing your BIOS, it was bricked. Those days are almost all behind us. Not all motherboards have BIOS flashbacks, but most do these days. So update your BIOS and just, that's the safest thing you can do on step one.
So this we know.
Number two is make sure that your pads and your AM5 socket is clean of debris.
Oh, no.
Socket on the motherboard, it's much more difficult to get something down in those tiny little holes, and you feel very safe that nothing might be in there. But I feel like a lot of AMD users maybe potentially aren't as seasoned, if you will, at the delicacy of the socket. So be very careful. Make sure your CPU is aligned properly. That's kind of what happened in the first case of the socket itself. Also, probably avoid PBO and any overclocking or any voltage changes that are anything other than maybe a curve optimizer where you're reducing voltage. Right now.
But you see, this is the thing. Like, this is the thing. If you do the voltage stuff, you enable PBO, and PBO is gonna do things on your back. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have control of what PBO is doing. So the real solution is to buy a 9800X3D and don't put the memory at the speed you are supposed to use it. And then, yeah, now you have a good PC which works at like 33% of what it's supposed to deliver. Salut Kulzi. You have PBO off? Oh, dude. Nah, I can't disable. I can't disable PBO. Not happening, chat. That's the whole point, right? Or maybe I'm crazy.
Overclocking AMD and adding voltage is just 1000% not recommended. Don't do it. I mean, I even showed you in our 9850 overclocking video, even adding more voltage didn't do anything for us.
No, but I PBO on paper expands the wattage capacity, right? So you can push a little bit further. It shouldn't be increasing my voltage. That's what I'm trying to explain.
It literally allowed us to look like we were stable, but the moment it goes under load, it just crashes. And adding voltage right now in this whole scenario, while it's happening again, is just a very quick way to potentially end up with a very expensive paperweight. And the last thing you want to do either is try dealing with AMD warranties when it comes to PBO and all that, because it's still kind of ongoing where whether or not enabling PBO or overclocking your unlocked CPU does or doesn't void the warranty. You might be asking yourself, well, how would they even know? And I've said that myself, and a lot of users have chimed in, oh, they'll know. Apparently there's a way in there that you'll...
No, it's not true. Like, there is a fuse in the Threadripper. I don't think there is a fuse in the CPU. I guess we'll find out really quick, because I use PBO, and I'm in the warranty process. So we'll see what they say. But there is no way they find out. There's no way, chat. I will keep you in to date. Like, if you can do PBO and use the warranty. That's gonna be the finding, chat. It's like, does it work? Did you make it, dude?
know, or they'll know that it's been overclocked. I don't know how that's possible, but probably not worth risking it. So no overclocks. Make sure your CPU is clean.
Okay, so no overclock, no RAM overclocked, no PBO, like nothing. Just buy a new CPU, I guess, like something else. Nah, that's not right, chat. Or maybe I don't get it, dude. Fizzy, how are you doing? So you know what was my issue? You missed a lot. My 9800X3D died. It died with those settings, dude. No power. Yeah, keep it in the box. You buy it and you keep it in the box, chat. Best experience I ever had. Like, he never crashed. He never never had any problem with it. Like, what's wrong? Do you remember we had this viewer was saying like, hey, just do it. I got the solution. You go, you buy it, and you put it on the wall, and you look at it. Never crashed, never burned. So I put PBO with an undervolt. So do we know why it died? Yeah, because there is a problem with the platform. Right? There is a problem on the platform. Like this 9800X3D like CPU and the platform itself has a problem. I didn't abuse it. And I honestly think that whatever BIOS I'm gonna put there is not going to help maybe this one to die again. That's sadly what I think. Oh my gosh, what's happening with OBS, guys? OBS is struggling like crazy. I don't know what's going on. Hmm. Hey, hello? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with OBS chat. Yeah, it's definitely OBS doing some weird stuff. So there was some type of update on OBS. I don't know. I don't know what's actually going on, chat. My logic question will be, why would you want to overclock your CPU in the first place? I can get for it rendering stuff for gaming. Why? It's like rev the engine to the max while being stopped. I'm not actually overclocking that much. And it should be able to handle that. Like that's why you buy the motherboard. That's why you buy all the stuff. Is to actually like take advantage of your hardware. Hello? You hear me, right, chat? So I did undervolt it. And it's not, it's not like before where you were just like going insane and pushing crazy voltage. It's actually put less voltage to give some room for the CPU to breathe. Robert, you have your approach. I don't share your approach, brother. I would have like overclock all my CPU. I've been overclocking my CPU for like 35 years now. And on all the CPU I had, and I'm not flexing or anything, I had a lot of CPU. I think I burned 2 of them. And what I did to the CPU were actually wrong, because I did insane stuff. I deleted them. I did like direct contact. I put so much voltage into them. Like it was barbaric what I've done to the CPU. But I was not surprised by the fact some of them died, because like I've done stupid things, right? But here it's not stupid. Like, yeah, I believe there is something wrong with the platform itself. Because you see, like at the moment, like what it shows from what we have seen is like at the moment where you tweak, where you use your RAM as it is supposed to be used at. Even if I don't use a PBO, let's say we don't do that. This is where the issue comes from, in my opinion. This is where the whole issue is there. It's like you push 6,000, and because it's 6,000 with those timing, indirectly it pushes the CPU to increase the voltage on the memory bus, memory controller, whatever you want to call it, and then you have issue. You are running it at 6,000. Well, you are on paper, you are overclocking it. The moment you put Expo, whatever CPU you are using, and it's more like the X3D, I believe, like it increase the SoC voltage, and you have no control over it, right? So that's the thing. So context, what do you mean by dead? Like the CPU is dead, the PC didn't boot. It was gone. I had to press the reset button multiple times to get out of it. And I've been troubleshooting it for like 14 days. And when I finally got the new CPU, I tried 3 GPU, I tried 2 PSU, I tried 3 motherboard, I tried 2 set of RAM, I switched the RAM. Like you have no idea what I've done, dude. Because I never thought it would be this freaking CPU. Like, it's not, I'm doing nothing wrong to it. Like, what I'm trying to explain is like, some of the CPU I had, I pushed them so hard and they're still running. I did nothing to this one. So, I believe there is some setting in the motherboard you don't have control to, or just burning them. That's what I think. And no, it's not the series 7000. I think it's more towards the series 9000. So with SoC voltage to AMD overclocking, and you can manually input the voltage. So you can do that. But you see, like the guy, he made a good point. He was like, there is some feature, for example, like, like the CPU state level, P state, I think it's called, where it goes from like 600 megahertz to 5,000. Well, when he switch, guess what? It just push more voltage because this is how it's built at. So even if you lock it, there is other factors that can still play with this freaking voltage. And you know, like having this idea that you are safe when it does whatever you want on the back. This is what I'm trying to explain. I feel like it's a lost cause type of approach. I mean, I understand you, brother, but I'm not overclocking because I cannot afford a new CPU once every few months. But bro, I think you don't understand me, Robert. I've been overclocking for 30 years. 35 years. Let's say I had like two CPU, like one CPU every 2 years. It means I had like at least 12 CPU, and I had way more than that. On 12 CPU, I had 2 CPU dead because I was literally playing dumb. My point is like, if you do a moderate overclocking, you should be fine. If you are not fine, there is a problem with the CPU itself. This is what I'm trying to explain. Nope, manual SoC voltage never change. And what about the load line calibration you put into it? Because the guy was saying it, and I think he's right. The load line calibration will define like the spread, right? Each time it's getting pushed on. I think, you know, like my take on that, and I don't have the empiric data to prove it. But when I was doing my overclocking on this platform, it's kind of true that it still go all over the place. You know what I mean? It goes all over the place, no matter what you set up. That's my take on this. LLC is mobile based, not CPU based. That come down to the mobile quality. Fair. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. But then it's like, you set the LLC, you put 1.2 for example, but the LLC, it can still put you there. I don't know. It feels like, yeah, I think it's a lost cause. They need to work on their BIOS and they need to fix this. That would be my take. I understand, but from all the CPU you had and overclock, how many were X3Ds? Well, it just shows that X3Ds are weak. Right? We are just ending to the same point. Right? So then you are telling me, well, I can't afford one. Well, they're under warranty. So I send it to AMG. It seemed like they accepted the fact that it's under warranty. Now we'll see if they send me one back, but they already told me that they will send me one back. Maybe they're gonna test the CPU and be like, hey dude, you use PBO, you're not supposed to use PBO. We refuse your warranty, we send you the old one. I don't know. Like, I don't have the answer to that. But so far, they accepted it. So use OCCT to run a stress test which can put different load on the CPU so it goes in and out of PT state and SoC voltage never change. I'm going to try that with you. Well, not all X3D are weak. The 9950 X3D dude doesn't have those issues. How do you know that? They got released like what? Like 1 month ago? 2 months ago? We'll see in 1 year where they land. What is this statement? Here, like, there is a problem with this platform. Which CPU are impacted? The 9800 X3D for sure. The other, I don't know. I don't have access to the data. We might never know. When you look at what come out from the video and stuff, it's more ASRock. But obviously, it's not only ASRock, because I have an Asus and it still died, right? So yeah, that's why I need to switch to Windows to see. My opinion is like X3D are not meant to be overclocked. Yeah, maybe. Could be, yeah, could be. But think about it this way. This is not even an overclock, dude. I put 200 max frequency on the main, and I reduce the voltage. And because the way it works, it's at this stage it's more like an undervolt than anything else. The CPU chooses how far it goes. I just say plus 200, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be at plus 200 all the time. It's 200 max frequency. So when you want, you can go there. But even if it goes there, there is less voltage. it's what I'm trying to explain to you, Robert, is like it's not even an like a real overclock. It's an undervolt. So I use the word overclock, but so Zen Power 5 and Zen Monitor 3 is the same as Endoor Info. Okay. So maybe I could take a look at that. I won't be installing it now. I don't want to do that now. Yeah. I might have to take a look. Maybe I'll make a video about it. I don't know. Like I won't be honest. I want to be honest with you guys. I'm just tired of all this stuff. Like I've been super disappointed by this generation and by the CPU, like, and by my motherboard, because I don't have the Doctor debug on it, and not having the freaking like 00 or 94 code. It took me 1 week to understand like what was actually going on the board. So it was more of an undervolt. Listen, dude, I didn't push it. This is what I'm trying to explain. I didn't push this thing. Like there is no push. Because even if when you push it on my test, there is no gain. The thing is already at the max. And it still died. So this is what I'm trying to explain. There is a problem with those CPU. I don't know about the other. I don't have access to the data. My experience is like, I had never a crash. Everything was flawless. And 2 weeks on the stream, I compiled like 2 Python libraries. The thing dies. That's all. Anyway, so it just... There is something wrong with it. And some of you might think it's an user error. Fine. But I'm telling you, like, I did it the correct way here. I wouldn't be surprised if some user with 9800X3D, even if they don't touch it, the thing is gonna fry anyways. Because there is nothing crazy here. And when you apply that, this is where it's funky. Because this is just telling to your motherboard, hey, hello, about 6000 megahertz RAM, apply the expo setting. That's all. That's all. And the tweaked here, I'm going to tell you, like, for people who know, the tweaked, instead of putting like the TRFCC, I think it's the name, the TRFC, they set it to auto. That's all. That's all it does. Versus the Expo 2. That's all it does. There is nothing bad. Like, there is nothing crazy. So, yeah. I'm telling you, I wish to all of people who have a 9800X3D to not go through what I went through, because it was just a pain to debug. Like, you will never expect this to die like that. And the way it died, so just for you to know, when a CPU dies, normally you press, nothing happened. So, like, I'm telling you the symptom of a real, like, CPU, like, totally, like, dead, old school. Symptom number 1, black screen, like you have nothing. I would say, like, no heartbeat. You press the button of your PC, no matter what you do, it's gonna be like no heartbeat, nothing start. It's just like, pfft. And my other experience, it boots normally, but then it arrives at a moment where, how to explain? The CPU give like kind of like wrong. Yeah, so this was funny. So the CPU will give you like wrong result, I would say. You will have like error each time you open an app, for example. Like, let's say you arrive in the operating system. If your CPU is dead and it's just the CPU, it kind of look like a RAM issue, but the RAM issue will be like freezing and stuff. With the CPU, it doesn't freeze. You open something and then you have like error, like some random stuff. You save a file, you put, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 in it, you save it, you reopen it, it's written something else in it. This is typical like CPU, which are like totally like loco. You know what I mean, chat? This is AI burst understanding. Either one more power, let's give him more watts and volts. Yeah, maybe. I think you just got bad luck with the Silicon Lottery. CPU are very hard to break. So this is the thing, Fazy. This is the thing. And this is what I found. But if you look, so this is what we are looking at. There is so many reports of 9800 X3D dying. I think right now you are in the context I was when I was testing this thing. In my head I was like, you know how hard it is to kill a CPU? Like, do you know how hard it is? Well, guess what? It was dead, dude. I put the new one, it's working perfectly now. And if you're saying, oh yeah, but it's just one exception that kind of like confirms the rule, well, guess what? Failure, 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 failure. I'm telling you, failure, failure. Like, I'm telling you, this is not just buzz. There is something going on. There is something going on, dude. Symptom number 3, you start suspecting your Mobo. Yes! You're like, no, it's not possible, dude. Vocal minority? Okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, dude. I don't know. I don't want to change your mind, right? Any of you in chat. I'm just sharing my experience. And I was really like, I don't know. I will put my 2 hands to cut to say this is the CPU. I will be like, no, there's no way. Like, if I had 1 billion, I would say 1 billion is not the CPU. I thought it was a PSU. I thought it was a GPU. I thought it was everything else. A lot of them came from Mobo Maker setting SoC voltage too high by default. It could be, dude. It could be, dude. You see, when I spend time overclocking it, I spend a lot of time looking at the voltage, the packet, overclocking it, sorry, undervolting it, and tightening the memory timing, which has nothing to do with the SoC voltage anyways. When I did that, I spent a lot of time like looking at how the CPU was behaving. And you know, the CPUs, they kind of behave like the new NVIDIA card. Like the last 3 generation of NVIDIA card. You can't really overclock them. You let the algorithm in it do its thing, and you play with the undervolt to see where you land, kind of, right? This is what you do. But with less margin on the CPU now, because there's really nothing to overclock on the 9800 X3D anyways. But like, you kind of like give control to the motherboard. And I think it's not good. Yeah, maybe go with the 7800 X3D instead. I know they are they were less overclockable. Like, I will stop. They were going lower in frequency. That's why they were performing a little bit less. But maybe they were more robust. Yeah, I don't think there is one cause that fits all. Yeah, fair, Steven. I agree. It could be so many things. I agree. When you install SteamOS on my system, I did it like 2 years ago. So I know what it is. I'm not planning to run this on a, like daily basis. Not interested in that. CashOS is my main operating system. I'm happy with it. So yeah, that's that was the news. So you want to tell you something even more funnier? Okay, I need to show you that, chat. So Asus Astral 5090. So you know what I decided to do, dude? Because I was doing all those tests without the card, right? So I put the card back. And this is what happened yesterday, dude. Yesterday at 2 p.m. So I switched. I told you guys, I had 3 motherboards, I had 2 CPU, I had... Like, it was a mess. It's still a mess behind me. It was a mess, dude. And then I was like, okay, everything's clean. The thing works. I'm sure it was a CPU now. Everything is okay. I'm going to put the GPU back. So that's what I use. Like, here, this thing here. Like, okay. So the only like great thing I would say about this card is, so do they talk about it from a marketing standpoint, or they just don't talk about it? No. So, no. Yes. That's the one. Okay, so this in my opinion, this is why for me this is the best card on the market. So they have this software here, right? You plug your cable there, the famous, like infamous power cable. So I don't know, I'm gonna make it bigger maybe, and it was a bad idea. Really bad idea. Yeah, it's here. So you plug your cable and it's telling you, hey, you have one of the cable which is like pushing too much like amperage in it, amperage, whatever, too much power, or not enough. Beep beep beep, right? So I was using my 4090 before, and on the 4090 I didn't have that. So when I got the 5090, I just plugged in the old cable in it. And then I noticed that on the 4090, like the cable was never good. It was just, I wouldn't say a defective cable, but something was wrong with the way it was plugged. And this card right away showed it to me. And the great thing is like this software is only on Windows, but on the card itself, there is a little LED light which will like start to pop out if there is something wrong with the cable. And so I put the card in it yesterday. I put the cable, I was ready, Anyways, I put it and I did my test. And boom, the LED come out. And I was like, bro, because I had to switch because I had to switch all this stuff so many times, I had to plug and whatever. I effed up the freaking connector. Like, at this point, I was like, man, I'm out. Like, I don't want to deal with this thing. Like, I'm so out. I was on my knees, chat. I was like, I'm so out with this. I'm so done. And I tried to move the cable. I plugged it, unplugged it, and he was still showing me the error. And I'm like, dude. Okay, so I fixed it. So I use this power supply. Like, this is, I'm telling you, this generation of hardware is the worst. I'm telling you straight, like, this at this point we are just cursed. So I use Superflower. So Superflower is a really good it's a really good brand. So what they do most of the time, they supply the other provider. Right? So I use where is it? Power supply. I use this one. So about this one, because it was super cheap, I paid like, in USD would be like 150 USD for 1200 watt Platinum Pro, dude. This is 1200 watt Platinum Pro. But you see, watch, I'm going to show you. They have those weird connector on the back. Oh man, I don't have this one. Dude. Maybe I'm gonna do... Man, maybe I'm gonna do a maybe I'm gonna do a RMA on this one too, chat. I didn't see that. So, I don't have this connector. I have just those 3 connectors there. And this, I don't have this. And so they provide you a cable that go to this one to this one. Is it fine noisy? No, it doesn't make any sound. Like this thing is so good. And so if I connected the GPU on this side, it will show red. And if I connect it on this side, it will be okay. And that's how I fixed it. And now it's working. You don't have that connector. It's the one for your GPU. I know. But guess what? I have a cable that go from those 2 to this connector. So it still works. It still have the same spec. I just don't have this one here. But that's... Yeah, it's definitely it, dude. It's exactly the same name. So can we put US there? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Oh, maybe it's not there yet. Wait. Maybe because we were on the local website. Yeah, that's the one I have. So yours is ATX 2? No, it's ATX 3.1. I have the cable, I have everything, except I don't have this. I don't have this connector. I have a cable that go from there to this connector. It's exactly the same feature, dude. I have this. So it sounds crazy, I know, but yeah, anyways. And the size is pretty small too. It's a freaking good one. But I don't have the native connector. I have the old one. All the native, I have a native. You want me to go get the box, brother? It's written on the box, native 3.1. It just doesn't have the connector like that. So... Sure. You know what? I can go for it. Send me... one... Listen, become a member of La Crème de la Crème Club and come get it and I show it to you on camera. You ask me something, I ask you something back. And then we make a bet. You want to bet with me? I don't want to take your money, but, you know, we can make a bet. Oh, you believe me now? Okay. Man. He goes fast, huh? I like it was really fast to, you know? So yeah, I don't have that. So anyways, if I plug it there, it doesn't work. And maybe this is the reason why they put it on this side. I don't know how it's connected inside there. If I put the connector here, it doesn't work properly. If I put on this side, no problem. But this is, I think, the greatness of this card. It's like, I can tell if something is wrong with the connector. I'm gonna send them an email, chat. And be like, dude, I have this issue, what can you do? Maybe they send me a new one. With the specific, like, connector to connector. To be fair, I don't really care, but... I also have a 3.1, but on PSU side, it doesn't have the special connector for the cable. Yeah. And to be fair, like, I'm happy with this cable, dude. Because we know that those apparently burn. So I'm happy with those design where you just have 2 of them, right? Like that, I don't have to deal with this. I personally prefer it. But anyways, when you look at the size, it's super small. It doesn't make any noise. And it's platinum, whatever. Like it's good. It's pretty good, dude. So the native use a 12 2x6 cable that delivers stable and efficient power directly to the latest GPU. The native connection minimizes resistance and improves safety compared to adapter-based solution. Yeah. So me, I have like those 9 cable going there. Boom. In it. Yeah, and the back, the echo is not a button like that, the one I have. Anyways, I would recommend that. Did you watch the new connector protection? Yeah, I've seen it too. Like with the smaller spin, right? I don't think this is a new one. He has a new name, right? Oh no, actually, this is the one. This is a 2x6 versus the PH12, right? Wait. Let's be accurate on this one. Man, this is so complicated, chat. You have to follow, right? So 12. Yeah, let's search this one. So there is there is a comparison. So this one could be the latest one actually. So, as power requirement and component evolve and grow, the connectors are used to... With the introduction of the 40 series, we had the 12 HP power GPU connector made its debut. So this power connector means that the cabling required to power a modern high-end graphic card will be simplified to a single form. Sure. So the 12V by 2x6 is shorter. As with new standard, things are likely to evolve quickly, and we are now seeing the introduction of a new connector on the GPU and PSU side of things. To be clear, this is not a new cable. It's an updated change to the pin in the socket, which is referred by 12 by 2x6. So the cable is the same. It's the connector itself. So the sense pins are shorter, but the power pins are longer. Okay. So now I'm like, if you buy that, it doesn't solve the issue on the GPU side. What connector do we have there? What type of connector do we have, dude? Chat, I can make this thing up, dude. I can make it. The signaling pin is shorter so that it has to be seated correctly for it to work. Makes sense. Oh boy, what is this? J'en peux. What is this? Chat, what is this? What am I watching? Okay. So this one has a new connector. Yep, that's exactly what happened to me, dude. Asus actually, I wouldn't say saved me, but I could tell right away I had an issue. Anyway, dude, I'm gonna send them an email really quick to see what's going on. What a time to be alive, huh, chat? But the 12 volt, it's only on the connector side. It's not the cable. This is what was written here, or maybe I didn't understand. Did I understand correctly? Chat. The cable is the same. Cable is the same. This might not sound like a huge difference, but it matters ensuring that the power cable has been properly connected to whatever device is going to be pulling power from your system or power supply. So what does it mean if you have already got hardware for 12 blah blah blah? An adapter will work with a new connector as the new changes are only related to the GPU and some PSU. The cable you got already work fine. Right? So it's like they put one on your so like it's literally telling you on the on the PSU side we have the right connector. But you don't have the right connector here anyways. Stock plasma actually is quite pleasant to look at, no? Why tinker and sacrifice stability? Yeah. So this is where we are, chat. You can have it nicely on the PSU, but PSU at the end of the day is like $200. If you put it there on your what's the name? Astral edition 20, 50, 90, whatever edition at like 10 grand. No. Actually, this one has it. Mine doesn't have it, dude. Like, I just want to cry at this point. I'm like, yeah. I just want to cry, dude. It's like, nah, we don't need this connector on this one. Yeah. So it's not fully the same as a native connector has force signaling pin that dynamically adjusts the power to the card. The 12x6 is a revision of the 12. They are compatible. Yes. My point is like, you can get a new PSU with a connector. Right? But you can't. You can change the one on your GPU. What is this? Yeah. So if something happened, it might happen more on your GPUs than on the PSU. And I was trying to say, like, if it's a 5090, you expect them to put the right connector, like the latest one. So I don't know when it was released. Maybe it was released after, unfortunately. But you can tell, like, this one has it. Anyways, dude, like this is just like okay, one by 16 pin. Okay, maybe it just work. I don't know. I'm gonna send them an email, see what they say. The new connector has H++ embed on it. Okay, I have to take a look at it, chat. But yeah, this is where we landed. So everything seems to work. I wanted to make some gaming. Maybe we do some gaming, chat. Let's launch something. Again, I told you it's gonna be a short stream, chat. Gaming meta, I think it was. The heck is happening with this? What am I doing wrong? SS. SS. How do you search with Shelly, dude? Okay, we're switching to Paru. At least I know how it works, kind of. Okay, 4, 5. Yes. We need that too. Like, I think we need the speed of download for on Shelly. I think it would be really, really good. So the stream is okay now, huh, chat? Okay. So we should have Steam now. Okay. I'm gonna start it. And yeah. We're gonna launch a game, see if this thing tilts red again. But man, what an adventure, dude. What an adventure, chat. I'm not doing that again, I'm telling you. I'm not debugging any hardware anytime soon, chat. I hope not. I was not... yeah, not something I was looking forward to, chat. Seems like the silly shirt is just for info about the package. Oh. Okay, let me log in. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I need to add the hard drive, chat. Okay, you can do it, Max. You should be doing like doo-doom. Okay, this is off. All right. Library, yes. Okay, I need to restart though. Yes, we did it, chat. Restarting Steam, and we should be good to go. Simple. Come on, Bobby. Yeah, the camera was struggling today. Yes, this is working too. Alright, so a game that literally destroyed my GPU is this game, chat. Everything to the max. It is pushing a lot. Hope the sound won't be too loud. Oh, it's fine. Cool. So what I do, normally I play with FPS limited at 100, but when I put on unlimited, it starts to push a lot of FPS. So we are in 4K right now. I think I have like 200 FPS. And I can tell from here by looking at my PC on the right side if something is wrong. And everything is fine, chat. CPU is working. I can land some of the stuff. Yes. Allez, front flip, papa. Whoa! No, 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 no! Oh, yeah, I landed it. I don't know why I love this game so much, chat. I keep coming back to it. That's the type of game I want those days, where I just chill. Whoa! So maybe I should put Mango to see, but... Yeah. No red light, chat. CPU is not burning. GPU is not burning. We did it, dude. No, 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 no. Oh, oh no. My run was good until this moment. Oh, pop, 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 pop. Yay! So it's still not perfect, but... Okay, this works, chat. And yep. It just work. We did it. So you know what I should do? We could do a quick Shadow of the Tomb Raider to see where we land with the new CPU and all those updates, because it's been a long time we did do a benchmark. So we could check that. And here I can do... Let's do a B-top. Yeah, so 36 degrees, GPU at 46, going down. Okay, let's go. So the one I remember is 1414p, and it was highest. Yeah, highest. 1414p highest, and I think our record was 362, 360 something. So let's see how much FPS we got here, and I'm gonna look from far, like see if something is going on with the GPU, but I think we are solid now. We'll be back to our testing in the future. I won't have to deal with that anymore. Hopefully. Hopefully, chat. So I don't have the same setting applied to my new CPU. I just let it like kind of like do its stuff. I have the before last BIOS because, well, you know, I'm supposed to always put the latest one. So I put the latest, like before latest one. I'm gonna upgrade it after this stream actually to make sure I'm on the latest. And yeah, my plan is to let it this way, and finger crossed on the future of this CPU itself. I just don't want to have to do that again. But man, it seems super stable. Like I think we're gonna get way better FPS, chat. I don't know if it's my CPU, like kind of like replacement. I never had 400 FPS there, chat. I don't know if my CPU was maybe a bad bin. I don't know. It could be, chat. Everything is possible at this point. But this seems to be way, way better than the FPS we had before. Like way, way better. Or it could be just Linux getting better, right? New kernel, new NVIDIA driver. And still no pants. Well, chat, I don't see you that much anymore. I think everybody went eating. Everybody's just tired to listen to me, dude. Be like, I'm tired of this French. He's always complaining anyways. Okay. Verdict. Eh ben... It's kind of like the same experience, right? 373. What would be 367? I said. So yeah, same. I will take that shot. I will take that, dude. I just want my thing to work. So we took 5 FPS with the CPU, I guess. I take it, dude. I just want everything to work. Sounds crazy, but yeah. Seems like it's working now. Cool! Cool. You know, one thing I want to try. So I think next stream, what we're gonna do, we're gonna try like the netborg patch. So CachyOS Proton netborg. How do we set up the low latency, dude? It can be enabled with Proton VKD. It's very important to read and understand the current status and limitation. Okay. To prevent ambiguity in matching internal frame pacer to ensure the absolute lowest latency, it's usually enforced that frames do not overlap on the CPU prior to. This cut down CPU side parallelism. Reflex API requirement. Currently require game to send both the simulation start and present begin marker to perfectly map the internal pacer frame. Or FrameGen is not supported. We'll be investing in the future. Down. As a result, deliver measurably lower input lag than the default. Okay. And you need SCADEX. Okay. What about anti-cheat? So I guess it doesn't have any impact on the cheat? Cheat detection or whatever, because it's done upstream. Okay, I want to try that, chat. So... Or maybe we do it next time, dude. Already have SCADX, okay. So Cosmos. The heck? I have to add that or not? Oh boy. Okay. Mm-hmm. I like that, dude. Hello, Overwatch, where are you, my friend? Actually, this is a DirectX 12 game. What is this? I believe this is a DirectX 12 game, if I remember correctly. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Can you zoom more in, please? Alright. So he has the reflex. So it should be activating too. I played like 1 hour this game. I kind of like it, but I never had the opportunity to really get into it. I think this would be my vibe, chat. It's just on Linux, it tapped on my nerve. Like I played once on Windows, and I can't forget about how the experience was on Windows versus the one on Linux. And something that really bothered me was the input lag. Okay, so how do I recharge this? I don't know what I'm doing, but... Man, so we are at 140 Hz right now. It feels pretty fine to me actually, yeah? Eh ben, Netborg. I think you did it, brother. I think you did it. Like this. Yeah. Like this, dude. He did what Nvidia could not do, chat. Can you use Secure Boot with Limine? Yes, you can. I made a video about it. You should check on my YouTube page, brother. Full tutorial, everything. And there is also a tutorial on the CachyOS wiki. So what they did, the CachyOS team set up the patch from Netborg for VKD3D low latency. So you have literally nothing to do there. Okay, so I'm putting it to 0. I'm gonna start again and see if it feels different or not. Or it's just me placebo because I didn't launch a game for so long now. And I'm getting old. And I don't know what I'm saying anymore after 4 hours of stream. Low latency only work for AMG? No. It works for Nvidia too. I just read it. Yeah, it works, dude. So it's not like... I don't know if everybody is gonna feel it, but yeah, it does work. But it's really subtle, dude. Yep. He did it, dude. Actually, don't need to test more. We're gonna do a full stream about this, because I want to test it at 240 Hz, because it's gonna be way better than that. So I don't know if it's placebo. We're gonna have to test more, chat. It feels a little bit better. Like one thing would be great is like if we could be aligned with the frame gen. That would be really awesome, but another problem for another day. Hey Netborg, what's up? Is that the real Netborg? Because I know we have like 2 or 3 Netborg on the channel, like while watching. So feature build, hardware agnostic, low latency frame pacing for DirectX 12. It natively implements the NVIDIA Reflex API within the translation layer, and also allow for advanced frame pacing via weight table GGXL swap chain to significantly reduce input lag. So yeah, but it's subtle. Like at least on this title, it was really subtle. But it's good because you see, I've been seeing that for like a year. And I know on some Discord, like people were like, "Hey, Max, this is in your head. I can feel the difference between Windows and Linux." And I was like, "Bro, there is something going on with the latency." Anyways, it's fine, dude. It's like when I said like 4 years ago that CachyOS is gonna destroy everything because they have the best base of like vision for Linux distribution, and here we are now, dude. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're the best, CachyOS, CachyOS." Guys, don't forget where you hear it first. Eh ouais, papa. Eh oui. Ah, well, anyways. It is what it is, chat. Oof. It's more impactful when you are GPU limited. Yeah, I want to test at 240 Hz because here I'm like I'm at 144. So you know, yeah, I'm out, chat. I'm gonna check this. I'm gonna really check if I can lock the SoC, dude, after I upgrade the firmware. And then I'm gonna move on from that, chat. I hope maybe it's gonna be eye-opening for some of you guys. You know, if you want to buy a 9800X 3G, or if you have one, you know, be careful about this whole platform, I would say, because even, you know, with me like not really pushing it, I spent like freaking 2 weeks trying to understand what was going on. Can happen to the best of us, chat. So, anyways, this is fixed. Let's move on to the next topic. Hey, Netborg, next week we're gonna do a full stream on your feature, dude. That's the plan. That's gonna be the plan. But I want to do it differently. Like what I want to do, I'm gonna put my screen at 240 Hz and I'm gonna duplicate it for the stream. This is what we're gonna do. But yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Cool. Friday too? Yes, Friday too. I just stream Friday nowadays. Every Friday. And maybe I'm gonna touch base with you on Discord if I have the time this week. If, you know. But they should be fine, dude. I hope they fix Wine and how they manage the launcher soon. Like all my games are blocked, more or less. Oh no, dude. Man. No more debugging. Next week, we're gonna have fun. I want to play with you guys. I hope it's gonna be a big stream. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. If you can, put a little thumbs up. I'm out. I wish you to have a really good weekend. Enjoy your day. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna talk about one of my projects I pushed. I was able, dude, I pushed a new repo with the AI and stuff. I'm gonna talk about it next week. I'm pretty proud of my moves those days. I think this AI stuff, I'm gonna start to dev something and share it with the community. That's gonna be awesome. So anyways, guys, thanks again. As always, see you in the next one. Yeah. I am out. Take care, guys. Thanks again for watching, okay? We did it. We fixed it.